And you know that in this county, the RR1s and RR2s are a minimum of 40,000 square feet. That's not quite an acre. But in this particular case with the 3.7 acres, there could be 4 parcels created. The issue here is still that the property is surrounded by the Act 40. And so our recommendation would be that it remain in Group 3. The next application is Logan. That's GPU 16-2007. The request was RMR 20, and that's the same request as it is today, but with additional information. And that information is that the parcel is slightly over 40 acres. We had it shown in our GIS system as 36 and a fraction, and thought that it could not be divided into 20s. And now we find that it is in fact slightly over 40 acres. We compared the GIS information to a recorded filed parcel map, which shows the acreage at slightly over 40. So in this particular case, we have a situation where on the north, west, and east, it's surrounded by 40-acre general plan designation, but across Highway 20, and that's also the location of the east fork of the Russian River. It's on the north side of Highway 20. South of Highway 20, we have an RMR 20 designation. So this particular one is somewhat of a judgment call. I think this area of the county was called Lake Mendocino View Estates, and I know that there were some concerns about the steepness of the property, whether or not there is access to the bottom portion of the property. We've had conflicting information given to us by property owners adjacent to this property about whether there actually is the dedicated easement. So this is really an application that you ought to hear some public testimony on prior to us giving you a firm recommendation. The last one here is GPU 25-2007, and that's Fetzer, and this is on the west side of Redwood Valley, west of Highway 20, directly west of the Broiler Steakhouse area, Yuva Drive, and located basically on Forsyth Creek. This parcel is approximately 10.75 acres. We're not certain about whether it has direct access or not. We do note that grapes were grown on this parcel, so there must have been some sort of access arrangement to harvest those grapes. I know that there is some concern that's been stated from folks in the neighborhood about this parcel and the fact that it's in floodplain, and we think that with the reduction in density that's been requested from the SR designation to RR5, RR5 would yield 2 parcels if it were subdivided, that this parcel can be reconsidered, and if the board would agree, after hearing from the applicants and the representatives and adjacent owners and so forth, that it could possibly move into our group number 1. And that would conclude our brief rundown of these parcels. As I said, there is more information in the rest of the packet that you have before you, and we do have maps here if you wish to explore them, any of these further.
Okay. Questions from the board to the staff? None at this point? Okay. Let's go to public comment, public testimony then. And to the public, if you would like to speak to any of these issues, please fill out one of these cards. I'll place you in order that you present. And I'll name off the first speaker and then the secondary speaker to be ready to come forward. So first speaker is Kathy Azarnoff, and please state your name for the record and keep your comments to 3 minutes. And on deck is Elmer and Deborah Wellick.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm GPU 10, 2007. Mr. Colin Murphy, that parcel. I'm Kathy Azernoff, and I border Mr. Murphy's property on the north and a little on the south. So from the bottom of the valley up to the top of the range, so you actually don't see my property. It's bordering to the north. And I'm zoned rangeland 160, and I have owned property in Redwood Valley for 29 years, and I've been on my current property for 20 years. I had intended to attend the Board of Supervisors meeting on January 14th to discuss this, but then when I understood that Mr. Murphy's piece was not being considered, and so I thought it wasn't necessary for me to attend. If I had attended, I would have spoken at that time against what he was trying to do, changing it, the whole 160 into 10-acre residential parcels. And I would have done that because of several reasons of potential impacts regarding water, access, slopes, biological habitats, etc. I am here today to voice again, a serious concern regarding the same piece of property with even with the revised request to just break off 10 acres and leaving the remaining in the rangeland 160 zoning. And there's several reasons why I'm opposed to this. The natural resources in Mendocino County, including the rangeland in Redwood Valley, are very important for the future of our county, for the future of our children, for our grandchildren. These natural resources of undeveloped land, pure available water, clean air, give us relatively undisturbed biological habitats, good land for raising animals and agriculture, preserve the natural beauty, give us a quality of life here in our county that is very desirable. Specifically, the rangeland in Redwood Valley protects and affects the water supply in the valley floor. If this request is granted, it opens the door, it sets a precedence for changing the zoning on other parcels that are zoned rangeland 160. Specifically, this piece of land has already been divided in the last couple of years. A separate parcel was created through a certificate of compliance process, and it was about 16 acres, and that piece was sold in the last year and a half for $385,000. Mr. Murphy receives a monthly income from the note to this property, and that piece borders me, and it's probably not shown on this. Oh, Mayor, there it is. Is that it? The 16-acre piece? Well, I don't know if that's it, but I mean, it was just sold like in the last year and a half. So if there was any financial hardship, if any financial hardship was mentioned, there's already an income coming from that. Water is being supplied to this parcel from Mr. Murphy's, the rest of his land. Further division of this land will require more water for development. Even if there is ample water in the range, which I believe there is, dividing the land and taking more water will affect the groundwater, which is available for neighbors surrounding this piece. Water is already a very serious concern in Redwood Valley. There are neighbors to the south of me and below Mr. Murphy who are currently have water problems. Mr. Rafael Chavez and the neighbor on the south of him. Additionally, there are neighbors to the southwest of Mr. Murphy, Mr. I think it's Ayat, it's called, Mr. Peterman, Mr. Kuhn, Ms. Flood, who are experiencing water problems. These are only the ones that I know about.
Please wrap up.
Okay. Granting this request removes legislative impediment to development as changing the designation. It removes the source of obstacles. Mr. Murphy could file a separate individual plan amendment if he wishes to pursue the division of this land. I'm a teacher, a longtime property owner, taxpayer, voting